This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago. Actually, we are in Forest Park at Casa Humilde Brewery, Cerveceria, and Restaurant. It's well, cheers to that. Definitely cheers to that. We're already getting treated with royalty. Good beer here. This is the TCSF podcast, joined with the Tape Never Lies Network. We got Ivan from Tape Never Lies, and we got Big Steve, former Bear, here in-house. And this is a pregame show for the New York Giants and Chicago Bears. We are at home, and it looks like going to be a cold and windy day at Soldier Field. You could tell us about these conditions.
Yes, you know best about them.
Well, y'all give me a hard time when I came in the door talking about it's cold outside.
You came in shivering. We're like,
yeah, I don't do that no more. I don't want to be out there. I said I had incentives. I was getting paid nice,
right?
And also you had the adrenaline. But this is, be honest, this is what you get yourself up for. We'll find out about our team today as far as who wants to play in the cold and who doesn't. But when you're a Chicago Bear, when you sign up, no matter what part of the country you're from, you embrace it, you figure it out, and that's what's part about being a Chicago Bears, playing in these elements and making them work for you. Now, I've been on the other end where we felt like, hey, it's cold outside, and we thought we had the advantage. Houston Texans game, and they were an expansion team that first year, and we just thought, and it was freezing. It was way worse than this, obviously. But I think we took for granted that the conditions were just going to make them melt, and we didn't take advantage of it, and that's a bad look. But New York is a cold weather team as well. Right. It just comes down to establishing who we are today. We'll talk more about that, but yeah, this is what you play for, man. It's going to be some flurries. You're back at home. You haven't been home in 2 weeks. You let this fan base get you going, and that will warm you up right there.
Yeah, Steve, I wanted to talk, and you kind of touched on it where you played the Texans, but also when the Bears played New Orleans in the playoffs, and we're like, oh, it's cold. Don't worry, Drew Brees can't do it in the cold, and he lit us up for like 400 yards. So like, yeah. Again, it's a mindset, and I believe if you're a Chicago Bear, no sleeves, right?
Well,
no sleeves.
And I'm done making fun of Darnell Wright, by the way. Okay. I'm off his case. I've been off Darnell's case for the last 3 or 4 weeks. He's done, and I would like to talk about that a little bit later about how well he's played and progression he's made, but he wears sleeves.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That used to be a thing amongst the D-line and offensive line where you don't wear sleeves. Now there were certain things that you would do in order to kind of, warm yourself up. Like, now don't get it twisted. Did I have like 3-4 layers on that weren't sleeveless? Yes. And then we used to put like it was like this who was Brandon Iambadagio. He used to tell it was some kind of vitamin E cream. And I don't know if you ever go back and watch Brandon Iambadagio back in the day. His arms used to be glistening. Like I thought it was some old bodybuilding. He was all ripped up. I thought he was just trying to get but he actually put this on, it helped break the layer of cold. Now it didn't last forever,
right? But
it got you through the first quarter or so. It got you warm while your body was getting adjusted. But they do things like that. But no sleeves was what it was all about, man. You can hide it with a little elbow sleeve to kind of cut a little bit, But I think they're done with that. I don't see guys really committing to that, but we'll see. But Darnell likes to wear his long sleeves, and the way he's playing, he could do what the hell he wants.
Right. Keep driving people 10 yards deep. We're good.
Right. Ivan, let's talk about the injury report for the Chicago Bears. We got Josh Blackwell, defensive back, out with a concussion. We got TJ Edwards, who had hand surgery and also has a hamstring issue. He's out today. Dominic Robinson also out, and then Jahade Walker, wide receivers, out. Everyone else is looking good to go. Tuni, Obabinga, Odunze, Moore, Monangai, Komet, Roshan Johnson. Will we see a Roshan Johnson side? And that's the question.
We were just talking about it. It's inevitable. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully they stick with the power and lightning theme with
Lightning and Thunder,
with Monangai and with Swift, and just add Roshan in there. Again, Roshan doesn't move the needle for me. He never really has.
He's our Patrick Williams.
Right, pretty much. That's kind of how I see him, a franchise pillar that's not contributing much to the team.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about the running game, and that's going to be the focus in my eyes, that's going to be the focus today. That's how you win the game, is relying on that run. Monangai's got to be the feature, right? He's got to be the number one. After what we've seen the past couple of weeks, the ability to hit the hole with speed, with power, vision, and also finishing his run. You're going to have to bring 2 or 3 guys to bring him down. You can't just go ahead and shoulder tackle him. You have to wrap, and you have to hope that the cavalry is coming behind you, because otherwise he's going to take you 5 yards, 6 yards, 7 yards, or bust it for a 20-yard run if you're not wrapping him up.
I love the way he runs. He runs violently, and he's going to smack you in the face. He took a couple guys' helmets off, busted them open. It was great last week, and I anticipate that he can get 120 yards as well, and let Swift be the change of pace back.
It fits him. I think that role, and Steve, you talk about it too. I think that role for Swift fits him better than being that feature. It just does. He's just a different type of running back.
Yeah, I'm curious, and I'm excited to see how they use these 2 running backs. I think sometimes things work themselves out. Swift got hurt. He needed to get that rest to get that groin a little healthier. And Kyle Monangai had his opportunity to take the share load and show what he can do. And now that just builds confidence in your coaching staff. I said it was like 4 or 5 weeks ago where I saw him pick up that blitz. I forget exactly who they were playing against, but when I saw that, I said that is something now that Ben Johnson is going to look at, and now he's going to get more involved. And I started seeing him get more and more opportunities. Now he showed his ability. He had this game-breaking game for himself. And we're going to see how they're using them. The great thing about Ben Johnson, he's done this before. He's done this in Detroit, where he had Jahmyr Gibbs and he had Montgomery. So how he uses them, who gets the lion's share of the carries, I think will dictate. But I think Kyle Monangai needs to get the ball in order to get himself revved up. That's the thing. I think Swift is a guy. I think he needs touches too to get himself going. But it will be interesting to see how we do that. But in order to do that, we have to stick to the run game. We cannot deviate off the game plan, not one bit. And O-line has to continue to do what they need to do as far as knocking people off the ball and not take a step back in their progression. Like in the Ravens game where they kind of got physically. And this is a D line that we're going to have to run the ball against, because they're going to be really, really a good pass rushing team. So we need to lean on the run game today.
Ivan, talk to me about the front four for the New York Giants and how much pressure they'll be putting on Caleb.
Well, I mean, they're going to use them in a bunch of different ways, right? I'd imagine they'd be using a bunch of twists. They're going to move. I mean, either one of them can go to either side. They could put them in the middle. They could drop them back in coverage. So the key to me is pick one, right? Like Steve was saying, don't forget your identity. Start running at them. Start running power. Start running downhill power right at them. That will obviously take, a little oomph away from. We're talking about body blows, right? If we want to use a boxing analogy.
Yeah.
Those are body blows
that you can cash in later,
them, right? That you cash in later. So if you want to keep them at bay, use the running game into the play action and work it that way. Because otherwise, if you're going to sit back there in shotgun, 25, 30 times today, I expect them to get maybe 5 sacks.
I think a lot of it was you talked about shotgun with Caleb Williams. They're looking at his footwork, and especially Kurt Warner. I look at his breakdown of what Caleb's doing, and he said that Caleb's a lot more in rhythm when he's under center. He feels like he's able to get his timing right, but he feels like when he's in shotgun, his footwork is not the same, and he's kind of happy feet. We talked about that multiple weeks. His happy feet there. So
I feel more like, and I agree with that totally, because I feel like the wide receivers progression can actually get there before Caleb starts looking downfield. I feel like in shotgun right now, he sees everything, but he doesn't know which way to go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's faster. Like it's not as fast. It's like slow for him, but he's not making the decision because he has so many options. When you run that, under center, you either run a fake, you run the play action, or you drop back, and it gives at least a couple seconds more for the wide receivers to get downfield and get through their routes. So I agree with it.
Yeah. I think when I'm just listening to that, when you're under center, you have to get to your footwork. Your footwork is so important when you're under center. Getting back to your drops and having the right footwork. And if it's 3 or 5 or 7, when you get back to that spot, usually you know where your receivers are at that point. And I'm sure that's what they worked on with Caleb. So that's a timing thing that probably helps him a little bit to come back. 1, 2, 3, boom. Okay, I got this.
But shouldn't the ball be out on his 3rd, 5th, or 7th step?
Yes, that's what would you like if everything is in
if the offensive line is doing what they're doing, receivers are supposed to be where it's all timing.
Yes, it's all timing. And when you're out of shotgun, it's like boom, and you just step there. So that's something to look for today. Like as we talk about, let's look what his footwork is. One thing when I'm looking at the game, I'm looking at the offensive line. So I'm looking as soon as the ball is snapped, is there immediate pressure? Is somebody getting beat immediately? And that's when it throws Caleb off his rhythm. And the great thing about him, he has that escapability. Right. But when he has a little bit of time, that's when I'm looking for him to have be on progression, to be on time with his receivers. And sometimes, and I think everybody kind of nitpicks, sometimes that's why you got to go back and look at the game if you're really analyzing it, is sometimes people are not open always. So
right.
It's a lot of components that go to it. I do see him getting better. But today is going to be a challenge. This is a huge game at home. You got a defensive front. No matter when you do drop back, they can get after you. But like I said, it's the play action. Like Ivan said, the sticking to your identity. You running the ball so effectively and running downhill at them. Now you coming out play action. You're coming out aggressive. O-line, when they do play action, O-line is supposed to come out. It's all aggressive set that we call it, where you're coming off like you're run blocking, but then you're getting back into a pass set, and that brings linebackers up. That has the defensive line hesitating. Also, utilizing the cadence, which we've had a problem with, looking a lot cleaner. As far as that's when we get in those pre-snap issues.
Penalties, yeah. It's usually the tight end. For some reason, it's always the tight end.
Yeah, and we've seemed to clean that up a little bit better. So staying on time with that, staying on course. That's another huge thing. Let's stay on schedule, meaning let's not have any setbacks with penalties. And that's the thing that kind of, this team is not this point where they can, rebound from those type of. I don't think any team likes to be off schedule. So, but we just have done it so much this year. We need to stay on schedule.
Yeah. Well, I am seeing a lot of where Caleb, there's a penalty. Pre-snap penalty, and then it's 2nd and 15, and Caleb has been overcome these penalties by getting that first down right away or close to a first down, and that's what you want to see from a quarterback. As far as leadership, don't worry, guys, I'll put it on my back. Don't worry about the penalty. We're gonna move forward. We're gonna move the chains. What I want to see Caleb do is move the chains and not big gain hunt.
Yes.
Gain, not game. Gain hunt. I don't need him to throw the 80-yard pass. Give me the 15-yarder. Let DJ Moore get the rest of it. Get the yak.
Yeah.
It's all about the yak. Get the yak, run the game, run the ball, be able to control the clock, and you're going to see how different this team is going to look. We haven't had a clean game all season. We haven't had a game where all facets of the team have been productive. Special teams, we talked about it last year, where they're giving up on the kickoff return. They're giving up way too many yards. 20 yards and they're in kicking range already. That's a problem. Special teams needs to be addressed so that way Caleb is not behind the ball. We're not starting at the 10, 15, 20, and then also giving the other team 40 yards on a kickoff. That's unacceptable. And then we also have a kicking problem.
Yes, we do. And I knew it was going to rear its ugly head. You know what I mean? Cairo. I mean, you got to have what's the other guy? Moody.
Mm-hmm.
Moody, he's in the practice squad. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sure they're not going to abandon Cairo. But if there's something to watch, if it continues to be an issue, then that's something you can look at moving forward. Moody obviously had a couple games where he came in and, outside of a block kick, in which we've had a little issues with some leakage on our field goal protection. There could be something that rears ugly head down there, and it's going to be, I think it's a good thing that Moody's still around. I thought after those 2 games,
someone will pick them up, right?
Yeah. So we're fortunate to have him, but I think you have to look at Cairo's, his contract and see what that looks like. So that's something.
I think we talked about it on Monday on our show where what the cap hit would be. I think it's like a little bit over $1 million cap hit if they were cut him at the end of the season. So that's something to look at. Also, you're looking at New York with a bunch of injuries as well. Paulson Adebo, the cornerback. We got Bo Collins, the wide receivers out. Victor Dimjuke, linebacker. Jermaine Aluminor, guard. Graham Cano, their kickers out as well. Chauncey Golston, Darius Masao, John Michael Schmitz, Heimer, whatever that song was a kid. Yeah, they have a bunch of injuries. It's center, linebacker, defensive end, kicker, guard, linebacker, wide receiver, cornerback. Ivan, talk to me about how much this is going to impact the game.
Again, this is what I said before. We talked about it with the Saints. You know how I worry every game. You're
nervous, Nelly, bro.
Because I know the ways we could get got. Right?
Yeah,
I know the ways this team could get beat. So I'm afraid that teams can do that, and any team in the NFL can do that. I don't care about the injuries. We've seen how they've struggled against teams closing halves, closing games, giving up points on defense. The offense sputtering sometimes. So spare me the deficiencies of the New York Giants. What I need to see the Bears do is put the boot to the neck, like we've been talking about before. Capitalize on their mistakes, and when you do, keep going. There's no need to slow up. There's no need to play down to the competition, especially on defense. And we talked about it before, how the defense, when we need them to stop, right? You don't want to give up points late in the half. You don't want to give up points late in the game. They seem to give up those points. So again, when you get them down, put the boot to the neck and finish them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's going to be the key. I think it's not real difficult. This is a game that we expect the Bears to win, right? But I'm hoping that defensively we're able to put some confusion on a young quarterback. Playing, he's from Ole Miss, and we got the snow flurries, but our issues are still the same. Can we get to the quarterback? Now we do have Austin Booker coming back into his second game, and we have I can't even begin to start. You know how I am, Ivan, with these names.
Yeah.
What's the guy we traded for from the
we just call him Joe.
Joe. What up, Joe? You're in Chicago.
What up, Joe?
You are in Chicago.
Yeah,
what up,
right.
Joe? I will be calling him "What up, Joe" if he get a damn sack. Like, I'm gonna be praising this dude.
Hey, that's a new T-shirt idea. What up, Joe?
Yeah, if he does something.
Yeah, he don't even think he knows. We may have to reach out to him to get a little percentage if he starts the ball. But I think when you look back at that trade, I was, of course, I'm like, we didn't do anything.
No, we didn't.
But I kind of went back to, okay, that means, and you hear that they did try, and it was some asking prices that they weren't willing to go to, and that's fine because we have so much we have to do to get this team in order. I don't mind keeping our draft picks and building it, but then again, are we trusting Poles to do this? But also, are we trusting Poles to make that trade, which he has not made great trades? He's not. You go back to Sweat. I mean, we needed it, but it hasn't really paid off the way we wanted. So at this point, if there wasn't nothing that made sense, hold our picks, hold fast. I like how we picked up a guy who could pop, who's young enough, and it's excited. So maybe guy can find life here, give us something. I mean, anything is better than what we had.
Right.
We talked about earlier. I was talking to you guys. The focus needs to be, in my eyes, pass rush and offensive tackle, right? In particular, left tackle. But seeing how this defense has struggled to generate that, I think the focus shifts to my number one focus as far as draft picks and as far as how we attack free agency is finding more pass rush. Again, you weren't going to trade the farm for a rental, or you weren't going to overpay for somebody who might not hit for you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like a hope and a prayer that you find somebody and he pops. But that's nonetheless, I could care less that they didn't do much. What I want them to do in the offseason is hit the points that we've been saying for about 5-10 years now, right?
Right.
Pass rush is an issue, and your offensive line, is in particular, the left tackle is an issue. So you need to address those things. And then along, as far as depth is concerned, if we give away draft picks for, like I say, a rental or a project, then we don't generate more depth, and we need that as well.
I just don't want to do any more projects.
Right.
We've seen what Ryan Poles can do with projects, and it's not very pretty.
No.
So let's just focus on blue chippers, dogs. We talked about dogs last week, and we need dogs on this team, and they don't need to be choir boys. Okay,
Yeah.
we have the culture in here that guys are going to be in line, they're held accountable. So we need dogs that are going to go after the ball. They're going to be ball hawks.
Even if you have the choir boys, you need the dogs and the choir boys to be in harmony.
I mean, we're going to keep drafting
like,
Boston College.
You just draft. Look, it doesn't matter. Like, to me, the personality, as long as you're not
Harvard.
out there, as long as you're not out there doing like some crazy type of shit. Go, if you got an attitude, if you had an attitude with your coach before, or if you had an attitude somewhere else before, I don't give a crap. Go. No. If you could play football, you need to be on the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, I think you, even the Gardner Johnson pickup, I think might have showed that we needed an edge. We needed, obviously we were hurt for injuries, but we needed some guy with an edge. And we have the infrastructure. I think when you think about Jalen Carter back in that draft, and when we hey, we didn't have an infrastructure. It might not have been good for that kid.
How is that working out, Mile High? How is Dio working out for us? I mean, he invested, but he invested poorly. So again,
somebody saying Dio was
no. He just said he addressed pass rush. He's not saying that he's but I'm just saying it hasn't worked out.
Of course, you're going to address your needs. Can you address them the right way? Can you hit? And he's not hitting, and that's the thing. Yeah, you can sit there like, oh, I need DM, but then you go get Dio. And that's what you get, and that's what he's done over and over again in different positions. And we're not gonna get into a whole draft talk, but that's where we at, because we know as we start seeing this team develop, they're gonna have to go get the dogs. And you hope Ben Johnson and you coaching staff, like I said, they have a strong coaching staff that I think can handle personalities. Also, they're starting to build a culture of players who can handle players that come in. If you're not fitting the bill and you can't get in line and just play some ball and stay out of trouble, then you're going to find your way out. So that's now we can't be scared to go get those guys with the edge. I think that's and I'm hoping that Ben Johnson and DA are going to be right there like, hey, we need X, Y, and Z to be good, Ryan Poles. And we want to be right there looking at them right with you. And I don't care if you got a little glip on your personality trait. Go get the guy. Let's go interview him. Let's talk to him. And if everything fits, go get him.
How many times have you been at a job and it's not a good fit and you have a bad attitude because it's just not a good job? You're like, I'm just going through the motions until I find a good job. Ivan, you want to speak to that?
No.
No, man. Sometimes you're at a bad spot. I'm a full-time teacher, and sometimes I've been at bad schools, and I'm just going through the motions because.
You want to name them?
Oh, definitely. I would. Yeah, come talk to me. Buy me a beer. I'll give you all the dirt on these schools.
Off camera.
I love the job I'm at now. Just to employ.
Clarify. Watch. I'm good.
I have some of my students that watch. Yeah, but you know what? I'm expecting a good game today. I'm expecting the offense to be on point today. I want to see the running game going. It's going to be cold. It's slow. It's snowing right now. This flurry is coming down. 25-mile-an-hour wind at Soldier Field. So I am expecting Ben Johnson to go for it on fourth down. I don't think he trusts Cairo right now to be able to kick that field goal.
Not in these conditions. So that's a great point. I think it's going to be, if it's a long situation, a long field goal.
Anything over 40 yards, you're like, nah, we're going to go for it.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be dictated on how the team is flowing.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be important. I think you just can't throw caution to win. But like, if he say you like, okay, we're not moving the ball away, let's take the field goal. He misses. Now we're like, okay, I don't care how the team is playing. We're going to take our chances
with Caleb
and making plays. So yeah, I mean, you look at outside this window, that the wind is whipping. So that's going to be another key. We know Caleb can be a little inaccurate when he's rolling out and he throws his
sails high.
He can sail high. But let's see if he gets his feet. His technique is going to be so important today, and not to be scrambling and all over the place. But he might not be able to help it with this D line if there's leakage.
Mm-hmm.
But can he get outside? Has he been working on throwing on the run and those mechanics, because he floats the ball? And will he keep the ball and run it and make the decision like, hey, I'm not about to sit here and have this second. I always call it, it's like when you're coming up to that yellow stoplight and you making that decision, am I going through?
Depends if there's a camera on the other side.
Or yeah, it also, obviously
they got me last week.
Yeah. So are you throttling down at a yellow? That's his. Is he going for it, or is he going to throw it? I think he has that little bit of that glitch.
Yeah.
And you hoping, and that's a coachable. That's a thing that can change. Because he's such a threat. But I would like to see more accuracy out of him throwing on the run.
Breaking news.
Oh, boy.
Former NFL Commissioner Paul Tagliabue has passed away.
Oh, man.
Oh, wow. Yep.
Just sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but that just popped up on the screen from Adam Schefter.
Okay. Paul Tagliabue. Be a moment of silence for everybody. Yeah, he was a commissioner when
he lived in Chevy Chase. What was it? Was it MD Maryland?
Chevy
Chase, Maryland.
Wow. Is that name after Chevy Chase?
He was 84 years old. I mean, I would imagine.
So, yeah.
Like,
I mean,
there's only one Chevy Chase.
There's only one Chevy Chase, yeah.
Hold on. You get a city name after you? I hate to spin it like,
right.
Pat.
I don't know if it might be a town.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It might be a town.
Yeah.
But rest in peace, Paul
Paul Tagliabue. He was there. Yeah, he was my commissioner for. Was he
here
the whole time I was there?
Yes. Maybe at the end.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't be paying attention when these commissioners.
Maybe with your
the check said somebody signed it.
Yeah, the ball.
he might have been gone when you had that cup of coffee with the Ravens. I'm pretty sure he was there before though when you were with the Bears. For sure.
I know for a fact he was there. I remember that. Yeah, but yeah. Nonetheless, rest in peace. Prayers to his family and friends and the NFL community. A lot of passing in the community, but like prayers up to everybody and their families. And let's you'll be celebrating moment of silence this day.
Yeah, they'll definitely do it.
100%.
Again, we are at Casa Humilde. It is snowing. It looks like a snow globe outside, but definitely come out to Casa Humilde. We got great beer. They got the new. They got this. You can buy these to go. Let me tell you right now, you can buy these to go.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Media Naranja. So this is kind of like a Blue Moon, but better. Definitely brewed in house here. The brewery's right behind us.
You can see right behind.
Yeah, the brewery's right behind. And they got coffee. If you're a coffee person.
I was waiting to reach for this bag.
No, that's all you.
I'm a big coffee person.
So this is
there you go.
This comes from Mexico.
Wow.
From Nayarit, Mexico.
Okay.
Tiramisu, walnut, and tropical fruit. Oh, someone's walking away with this bag. I'm not telling Jose. It might disappear for Steve.
Okay, man, I'm getting one of those. It's whole bean in there too. I was filling the bag. So
we're at 7700 Madison in Forest Park. Definitely come check us out. They got pozole. They got a smash burger. They got a bunch of cool food. They got wings. Come out, join us. We got merch here. We got Ivan. He'll talk your ear off about the Bears.
We got beer.
Yeah, that's why Steve is here. Let's. I know we're
at 15 minutes. Let's get into our predictions and then wrap up.
All right, go ahead. Go first.
Okay.
Yeah. Put you on the spot.
No, you didn't because I've already done this on Wednesday. Thank you, sir. 34. I'm gonna go with the Chicago Bears winning 34-20.
Okay.
If my pick on offense was Kyle Monangai, 150 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Whoa.
On defense, I'm gonna go with Javon Dexter.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Javon Dexter, plugging up the middle. You know, I know they're still gonna attempt to run with Tracy and what, you know, the running backs that they have. They still gotta, you know, utilize the run, but I think Dexter might cause some havoc to where Jackson Dart is going to have to roll out right or left and make some decisions out there. So I expect Javon Dexter to have a nice game, maybe like 5 tackles. Let's say he gets a sack.
All for it. Steve?
Okay, my prediction. I have sitting here mulling it over. I don't know why I'll be thinking about my prediction, but I'm gonna go Bears 31.
Ooh, okay.
I'm gonna go the Giants 21. I think it's gonna be early and often a good game. You know, it's gonna be tight. I think the second half, I think we start putting it away, extending. It's only a 10-point lead, but I think we kind of stretch that lead out. My players to pop on offense, I'm gonna go with Caleb. I think Caleb, I don't know. I think he hits over 300 yards.
Ooh.
I'm gonna say he's gonna rush for over 60 yards. And let's say a total of 3 touchdowns, either run and pass.
It's gonna be the Caleb game.
Caleb game in the snow, and I wouldn't say snow, but in these snow flurries, winds.
But you see the wind; it's literally pushing.
I'm being risky here, saying 300 yards for Caleb when it could easily be a pound and ground game, and this keep the pressure off of him. But I'm gonna lean on Caleb coming through and. I could just see him in this snow flurry, just Caleb and all the haters, so we'll see. I'm putting good vibes out on that. Defensively, I'm going to go with a combo, and this is cheating, but I'm going to go with a combo of the 2 wiry defensive ends. I'm going to go with Joe.
Okay.
And I'm going to go with, hey, what's his name for real, man?
No, it's like Joe Tron.
Joe Tron?
It's like, it's Joe. Tron, and the last name is
Joe Tron Shonika.
There you go.
Joe Tron
Shonika. Yeah.
What up, Joe? What up, Joe? I'm going with what up, Joe, and I'm gonna go with Austin Booker. 2 wiry guys. I just feel like they're with Dart running around. I think we're gonna need the athleticism from those 2 guys, and I feel like those guys are gonna be able to contain them and track them down. So I'm looking for both of them to kind of pop together where they kind of show that, okay, because they're going to be different than what we've had. And I think they're going to show up in this weather. And I think that's where I'm looking to pop, and if those 2 do pop, that's a good sign for the Bears moving forward with the defensive line, as far as like we've gotten a little bit better.
Okay. I'm going to go. My first thought is Grady Jarrett, but I want to go Montez Sweat with 2 sacks.
Who's winning?
Oh, instead of the Bears, 30-20. 30-20, a 10-point lead. Again, we'll finish it off in the second half.
Just trying to copy my.
No. 30-20. I didn't copy your bets.
You should have.
I should have, right? You've been winning. On offense, I'm looking for Rome to bounce back with having no catches last week. I'm looking for him to have 7 catches this week, and the offense to be rolling with the running game. So it's going to be a good game. If our special teams can help us out this week, it should be definitely a win.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't really touch on the special teams, but quickly they have to step up. Our Hightower is under fire. The constant starting team starting off at the 40, and then last week giving an untouched touchdown, and then our inability to move the ball. And in these conditions, you need the special teams to come up big. So I'm hoping that he's got these special teams units locked in. They had some guys who elevated from injury. Another African name, the guy 45. What's his name? He's coming off.
I'm Bob Baminga.
No excuses, man. You out there. You see how quickly I moved on. No excuses anyway. I didn't even want to address that name. No excuses to these guys. They need to step up and make some plays, get some turnovers. Let's get some good. Let's keep the field tilted in our favor with special teams, man. And I mean, it was another point that I heard one of you guys say, but I forgot about it.
All right, so again, we are at Casa Humilde 7700 Madison in Forest Park. Come out, have some great beer. I'm already done with mine. I need a refill. They got beer to go if you want to buy some to go. The brewery is literally right behind us, so everything is fresh. Definitely check out the coffee. Come hang out with us. Ivan will talk your ear off. We got merch on the table, and we'll be back for the halftime show.
Oh yeah.
All right,
We'll be
folks.
back.
We'll be back.
Bear down.
Bear down, baby.
Hopefully,
down.
hopefully Steve's warms up here.
Yeah, you see, I'm all scrunched up here. It's cozy in here. I'm just cold. I just get cold easy, man. This is how times have changed. I'm not the grizzly bear anymore.
Nope. Later.